Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. They're right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, September the 3rd, 2017, time 5:55 a.m. First, I thank all my fans, my support, for continuing encouragement and support. I'll continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area. I'll continue to further my education at Monroe College online, pursuing my social media, studying business administration, concentration marketing. The music in the background is Radio Africa online. And what I'm going to do right now is do my Instagram. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. They're right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, September the 3rd, 2017, time 5:57 a.m. First, I thank all my fans, my support, for the team, encouragement and support. The music in the background is Radio Africa online. Always, give thanks to God for all His blessings and His guidance. supposed to do right now is do my periscope. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Today and date is early Sunday morning, September the 3rd, 2017. Time 6:02 a.m. First say thank you to all my fans, my support for your continued encouragement and support. I continue to keep myself employed right here in the Memphis tri-state area. Continue to further my education, Monroe College online. Pursuing my social media studying business administration, concentration market. The music here in the background is Radio Africa Online. Turn the music down. Now, first I wanted to inform everybody that the reason why I'm at 6 in the morning, I went to bed last night with a headache. And I woke up this morning with a headache. So it kind of, I think, it being September, it's a possibility might be a sinus headache or whatever. But like I say, I went to bed last night with a headache. I took something to try to, make the headache go away. I woke up this morning, head was still, hurting. So, but I'm still doing my video, and we're gonna still address the issue that we need to address. As you know, African traditional religion is being taught at institutions of higher learning, meaning colleges and universities in sub-Saharan Africa. You can earn a bachelor's degree, PhD studying African traditional religion. Now, one of the books we're going to continue to read from and we're going to refer to is titled West African Traditional Religion, written by Dr. Joseph Obasele Malelu and Dr. P. Adalumo Depemu. Another book we're going to continue to read from, and we're going to refer to as title, African Traditional Religion, a Definition, written by Dr. E. Beloja Adobu. Another book we're going to continue to read from, refer to as title, African Religions and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M.B. Another book we're going to continue to read from, refer to as title, Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M.B. Now, as you know, the United States government, as well as other governments around the world, they all pass laws, enact laws for the general safety of the general public. And the United States government passed the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970. And the Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970 is the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, the RICO Act. Now, also, the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970, the Controlled Substance Act, the Psychotropic Substances Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, or Kingpin Statute. All these laws are anti-gang. Now, also anti-gang, the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, plus other related legislation. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and Comprehensive Gang Model, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. The Bureau of Justice Assistance, Office of Justice Program, and the United States Department of Justice. You can go to youth.gov and be informed about the Comprehensive Gang Model. The Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, United States Department of Justice Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Project Safe Neighborhood. United States Department of Justice Office of Community-Oriented Policing Service Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, United States Department of State, Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistance, Education, and Training, the GREAT Program. United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention. In October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which has been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which has been funded by the Bureau of Justice Assistance since 2003. The National Gang Center compilation of state laws against gangs, gang prevention, and overdue research program of Mr. James C. Howe, Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, of the United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance, Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, National Gang Center Bulletin, and the title of that bulletin, History of Street Gangs in the United States. Now read the books in the bulletin. And also you can go to Wikipedia and be informed about the gangs in the United States. The United States Department of Justice Office of the United States Attorney Manual 1457, Criminal Street Gang Statute 18, United States Code 521, United States Department of Justice Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Gang Intelligence Center, United States Department of Justice, Organized Crime and Gang Section, and other federal, state, and local agencies. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategies, Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, and Suppression. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, United States Department of Health and Human Services, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, Changing Course, Preventing Gang Membership, and also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. The United States Department of Justice and the United States Department of Education, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Labor, and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention. Go to youth.gov and be informed about National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention. Excuse me. The United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, National Crime Prevention Council, keeping kids out of gangs, and also anti-hazing. You can go to lawyers.com and be informed about anti-hazing. Now we're going to get to the scriptures and things as they go, but I want to say something about the very same issue, about the so-called gang, mob, gang plus stir, mob plus stir, thug, goon, boss, hooligan, crook. You know what I'm saying? And any other word that, you know, that these dumb cowards use. Excuse me. And like I said, I want to repeat again because I know time won't permit me today to get a little more in depth. But like I said, I went to bed last night with a headache and woke up this morning with the same headache. I took some headache medicine and I woke up this morning still head was hurting. So that's the reason why I didn't get up, you know, earlier to do my video. But what I want to make sure that we continue to address the issue that we want to continue to address. We're going to get to the scripture. It's about this so-called gang and mob stuff. And, you know, like, for instance, I know there's a lot of people that watch my video, and we you know, we talk about current events and we talk about issues that are taking place in history that's related to what we've been talking about, gang and mob. And I do go to work. I do have a job, because that's what we want. That's what I want to talk about today, is being on your job, or, you know, just being in public and having these dumb cowards try to attempt to coerce you, or attempt to intimidate you. Now, I'm going to make myself clear about coercion and intimidation. Now, I told you once before, I was over at Walmart, $7 and some change. $7 and some change. Now, I was at Walmart, $19 and some change. $19 and some change. Now, Bass Pro. Now, and that was it was less than $100. It was less than $100. Now, coercion, intimidation. You're assuming the wrong thing about me. You ain't gonna force me. You're not gonna force me. No gang plus stir mob. No, only thing you're gonna do is make me mad. That's all you're gonna do, make me mad. I'm not intimidated by no coward, no dumb cowards. I'm not intimidated by no dumb cowards. Now, like these recent events that gave us a reminder about history. The East African slave trade and the West African slave trade. Now, the East African slave trade, the Arabs, and for instance, tip, we know that the Arabs use the word zanj to refer to the Africans who were being sold in the East African slave trade. Now, the West African slave trade, we know that history tells us that the people who was involved in the slave trade were the West Europeans, the Latins, and the Germans. Now, history tells us that the other European groups, such as the Ottomans, the Greeks, the Slavics, the Hungarians, and because a lot of those people in Eastern Europe are Slavics anyway. The Polish, the Bulgarians, the Czechoslovakians, and then you go down to Yugoslavia. There's some Serbians. A lot of people that's in Eastern Europe are Slavics, and and they were not involved. They were not involved in the slave trade. And Greeks, they weren't involved. The Turks, the Ottomans. Then you go to Asia, Central Asia, and so on and so forth. Now, when you be saying all these dumb words, like gang, that's a German word, mob, that's a Latin word, you're just a dumb coward. Somebody call you a nigger, it comes from the Latin, and then you add the German to it. That's where you get the Latins and the Germans. So you're a dumb coward. See, this is how you have to teach children. Just for instance, the GREAT program. GREAT, I mean, it's a very good program, and applaud the United States government for putting forth the effort to address the gang issue, and you have to continue to put forth the effort as well, and to help the United States government to address this gang problem. Now, there are a lot of African people living here in the United States of America, in Canada, and in the Caribbean, as well as in Mexico, Central South America, the Latins and the Germans. You understand? That's where these dumb words come from. Now that thug word, we know that's an Indian word. That's an Indian word. And we know that word over there in India is talking about a group of people. You know, a group that was in India who murdered, strangled the victims, and they claimed it was for the god Kali. So all you dumb cowards, you be really making people sick with your ignorance. And that's what it is. It's ignorance on your part to be going around still in this day and time not trying to educate and inform yourself. Now, what I want to talk about, want to address, is being, all of us here in America, Canada, Central South America, Caribbean, when you be on your job, when you be in public, like me, for instance, when I be at work, you have individuals who think they smart. For instance, the Latins and the Germans. They wait till they get to work. They want to use the place of employment as a safe haven for them, for themselves. Now you see me say anti-gang. You see the video. You hear anti-gang. See, you hear anti-gang. And then also the United States government is putting forth the effort to try to address the gang problem. But what do the people in business do? They try to ignore the United States government. Now they pay their taxes because the United States government just ain't gonna put up here. You got to pay your taxes or you're gonna be penalized by the United States government. You're gonna be penalized. Now, when it comes to the gang issue, they don't know what you're talking about. They got amnesia. You understand? They got amnesia. We have all these secret societies, organized crime. We got all these, excuse me. We got all these sororities and fraternities. And you got the criminal street gangs. And then you also have all these man-made religious organizations. There's all these entities are all trying to promote this nonsense, gang and mob with the Latins and the Germans. Now, when you be on your job, for example, like when I be on my job, I know there's a lot of women, for example, they be intimidated. You be on your job, you got the manager trying to use the place of employment as a safe haven, and then you try to coerce all the employees on their job. Now, the first thing we want to make this clear: not afraid and not scared of you. Not afraid of you, not scared of you. Now, you the one trying to use the place of employment as a safe haven. Now, if I see you out on the street, I'm going to give you an example. Just like down there in Charlottesville. For example, down there in Charlottesville, you see it was a confrontation. It was an altercation. It was a confrontation. There were people walking around wanting to preserve the Latin and the German culture and custom. They didn't want nobody to take General Lee's statue down and all the other people statues and desecrate his grave and go urinate on his grave. Like somebody really just give a damn about General Lee. Go dig his grave up and urinate on his grave, for example. But urinate on the statue, all that kind of stuff. Throw some feces and all that at his statue, okay? And at the protest, But down in Charlottesville. Now, all that stuff was to promote the gang. It was a gang. It was a gang of European, the Latins and the Germans. They call themselves the Ku Klux Klan. They call themselves skinheads, and they call themselves the Aryan Brotherhood, the Aryan Nation, the motorcycle gang. You understand? What they call them? The Hell's Angels and the Mongols. See, they'll do stuff, and you think that they be trying to influence the other Europeans, the other Latin Germans, which they do, because some Latin Germans, they don't support it. Some people have, educated themselves, informed themselves, and they don't support it. A lot of Germans don't support that nonsense. You understand? A lot of Latin people, they don't support the nonsense. They don't support it. They know that it's a bunch of nonsense and a bunch of ignorance. It shows your ignorance. They don't support it. So the other individuals, the other Latins and Germans, they call themselves Ku Klux Klan. They call themselves Aryan Nation, Aryan Brothers, and all that stuff, to try to influence the other Latins and Germans to support white supremacy. Because the other Europeans, they don't say anything about white, black, yellow, brown supremacy. They don't say that. And other groups of people around the planet, they don't say anything about their groups being supreme over other people. Now, so this is what we talking about, being on your job. When you had to deal with this stuff down in Charlottesville, it don't just be in Charlottesville, it be all around this country. And it don't just be them trying to influence the Latin and German, but what they also be trying to influence me, as well as all the other Africans, as well as all the Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, other Latin or Hispanics that are living here in America, as well as in Canada, in Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean. They're trying to influence you. And the way they try to influence you is through violence. Now, I mean, let's be realistic. Who in the world gonna stand there and have a conversation with the Ku Klux Klan and try to influence you to see it their way? Who in their right mind gonna stand there and listen to them? That's an African. That's a Mexican. Do you see the Mexicans standing there having a conversation with the Aryan Nation, with the Aryan Brotherhood? Do you see the Puerto Ricans standing there having a conversation? We're going to just sit here and talk about hating black people. We all, we want to show you why we hate the Africans. So the Puerto Ricans going to just stand there and have a conversation. We just going to sit here just like going to sit here. The only way they can influence you is through violence. Nobody in Central America, because they Native American. They're Indians. The population itself, they might speak Latin, but the people in Central America, they not European. They not Latin, they not German. They Native Americans. All the people that live in Central America are Native Americans. All the people that originally lived in Mexico were Native Americans. All the people that originally lived in South America, Native American. The Latins and the Germans came over and enslaved the people, oppressed the people, and then they brought Africans over. See? So you're going to stand there and have a conversation with the Aryan Nation and the Aryan Brotherhood talking about they hate Africans. Yeah, they hate you too. That's what they claim. So the only way they can influence you is through violence. And then they try to do the same thing with the other Latins and Germans through violence. And all the Latins and the Germans who don't agree with them, see, this is what you get caught being accused of not hating Africans, not hating Mexicans, not hating the Central Americans or the South Americans. But what you do is that gang stuff, that mob stuff. See, this is what you get accused of. See? So this is what we have to do. Just like when I be on my job, I got a manager and supervisor and lead, all this stuff. And what you have to do on your job when you have people trying to coerce you, see, you can file a police report on the people that's in management. Your supervisor, you file a police report because you be in there running your mouth. And when you run your mouth, you think you're in a position where you think you're untouchable. You think you assume that you are untouchable when you at your safe haven. You think, I'm untouchable. You can't do anything to me. You can't do it. I can say whatever I want. Boss, I'm the boss, and I'm German. And that's my language. Well, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dial 911, or better yet, I just go down to the police station and fill out a police report on your butt. I can do that because, see, documentation, having things documented, leave a paper trail, it'll catch up with you. See, and when you think you're getting away with it, see, the United States government will find out about it. And see, this is what I show a lot of the women and a lot of men that don't want to have anything to do with that gang. See, that's the reason why a lot of people don't want to have nothing to do with that nonsense anymore, because they know it's just a bunch of ignorance, the Latins and the Germans. And see, when you be on your job, see, you got people that's not in management, and they'll say words out their mouth. Don't let anything that people do provoke you. I can relate to what you're dealing with, because when I be on my job, there be a lot of people that provoke me. Some of these big mouth females and some of these ignorant dudes walking around that know ain't no such thing as being intimidated. Ain't no such thing as being afraid or scared. It's the other way around. Because, see, I'm not nobody that's trying to look for no safe haven. Because, see, what I'm gonna show you is when I see you out on the street. See, it ain't no such thing as coming to where I work at and talking about no cuz and no blood, and then you assume that I'm letting you get away with it. Because, see, when I see your ass on the street, I'll show you. I promise I will. I'll show you. Ain't no such thing being afraid or scared. I'll run into you. I will do something to you. I don't play that crap there, man. I don't play that. I'm not nobody to be playing with. And I done showed a whole bunch of individuals. It's not that way where I work at. See, I don't take that. I don't let nobody know. It ain't that way. Now, so like I said, and also when you go somewhere where you live at, in your community, in your neighborhood, it's some individuals in that neighborhood. They think they can play with you and all that, like in these apartments, whether it be public or private. The same thing. Don't get into no altercation. Don't get in no confrontation. You make use of the police department. That's what the police department is there for. Fill out a police report. File charges. Talk to the police department any and every time somebody is talking about their gang in your neighborhood. It can be in a house. You live in a house, live in a neighborhood. You live in an apartment, whether it be public housing, Section 8 housing, or whatever kind of apartment. If you have a problem with the manager of the apartment, if you have a problem with the maintenance man, anybody that's associated with that apartment, file a police report. Don't get into no verbal altercation. If you hear somebody saying some words out their mouth, saying anything or throwing hand signs, fill out a police report. File a complaint with the police department. Because what's going to happen is this. When you file a police report, the United States government find out about it. The Justice Department. The Justice Department finds out about it. This is the reason why you do that when you're on your job. Because when you file a police report with the local police department, the Justice Department is monitoring all the police departments around this country. And when you file that police report, it's a paper trail. Don't never think that the U.S. government don't know and don't want to act on your complaint. See, everybody got rights, as you know. They got when you file a police report against them, they got the right to a fair trial and to an attorney and all that. But what you do is file a complaint. Each and every time, file a police report. File a police report. When you on your job, somebody's saying some words around you, and you on your job, you don't have to necessarily go to your manager and have your manager standing there trying to tell you they're going to do something about it. Look, file a police report, because what you have to remember is that your manager is a gang member. File a police report with the police department. Go down to the police department. If you can dial 911 or go to the police station and file a complaint, or they'll give you instruction on how to deal with this stuff. And because see, that's another thing. If the police department don't handle this in a proper manner, they in trouble. Because what is the police department's responsibility? To serve and protect. To serve and protect. If somebody is coercing you to be in a gang, get in contact with the police department. File a complaint. Because they are there to serve you and to protect you. When it comes to those little children in school, the same thing. Talk to your children. Ask them questions about other children. Do the other children say words? Do they wear colors? Whatever it is they're doing. Watch the school teacher. Watch the faculty. Watch the counselor. The sorority and fraternity. Watch the school board and the school superintendent. The sorority and fraternity. See? File a complaint. Because the police department is there. Your tax dollars is there. They are there to serve and protect. File a complaint with the police department. Now, like I said, all these words and stuff, these dumb cows going around. We look these words up. Merriam-Webster, dictionary.com, Cambridge University, Cambridge University English Dictionary.com, Oxford University English Dictionary.com, Collins English Dictionary, and Macmillan English Dictionary, and also Oxford University's Latin Dictionary.com. We look them words up, man. We look up gang. We look up gang plus stir. We look up mob. We look up mob plus stir. We look up thug. We look up goon. We look up boss. We look up hooligan, crook. Any word, you understand, that these dumb criminals, dumb coward criminals use, because that's what they are. They dumb and they're cowards. Now, because I got my dictionary, and I also have my dictionary, you know what I'm saying, and I also have my thesaurus. Now, before I end today's video, we're going to turn this Holy Bible. Now, I wasn't able to get up on time like I wanted to, because like I stated earlier, you know, I went to bed with a headache, and I took some headache medicine. And I woke up with a headache, and I took some more headache medicine. Now, on my previous videos, you know, we went to the scriptures, for example, John the Baptist, and we also went to the Old Testament, the flood story. We went to the Holy Bible, in the book of Matthew, the Beatitudes, as well as the book of Luke, the Beatitudes. And we've been going over to the book of Acts about the disciples. And we know in the book of Matthew, we know that Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, the Son of God, He established the church. That's very important. That's the most important point, because we know these man-made religious organizations Romans chapter 16, verse 16. Salute one another with an holy kiss. The churches, CHURCH with that ES on the end. Churches of Christ salute you. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 4, so that we ourselves glory in you in the church is, CHURCHES on the end, of God, for your patience and faith in all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Lies. Now we've been going to, like I said, the book of Acts, and it talks about mostly the disciples, and we've been putting our emphasis on exposing Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. We know he's a liar. There ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There's no denying Saul from Tarsus is a liar. He's a thief. He's a murderer. He's the devil. We turn to Acts chapter 9, just to give everybody, you don't have to argue with anybody. Acts chapter 9. Verse number 7. Acts chapter 9, verse number 7. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man. They heard the voice. The men that were traveling with Saul, they heard the voice, but they didn't see no man. So let's turn over here to Acts chapter 22. Acts chapter 22, verse number 9. And they that were with me saw indeed the light, and were afraid, but they heard not the voice of him that spake to me. He lied. Acts chapter 22, verse number 9. Acts chapter 9, verse number it's undeniable. There's no denying that Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, he's a liar. And again, I reiterate, Acts chapter 9, verse number 7. Acts chapter 9, verse number 7. And Acts chapter 22, verse number 9. There's no denying. There's no argument. There's no dispute. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, is a liar. So reading all that junk he wrote, throw it away. And those 3 places in the Bible where you talking about a Christian, we know who did it. It was him. So all you people that be calling yourself a Christian, Saul from Tarsus is an undeniable liar, thief, murderer, devil. Acts chapter 26, same thing. But we want to go to that verse because we don't want to have any dispute with the government. Go to the government. Go to the government all around this earth, on this earth. Go to each and every government and show the government Saul from Tarsus is a liar. The self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, a lie. That's another lie, calling himself an apostle. Acts chapter 26 also talks about his conversion. And so we know that when you read Acts chapter 26, there's a lot of information that he withheld from King Agrippa. And there again, there's no denying. He's a liar. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, is a liar, he's a thief, he's a murderer, he's the devil. So I encourage each and every one that's listening and watching my video to go over those scriptures. Acts chapter 9, read the whole chapter. Acts chapter 22, read the whole chapter. Acts chapter 26, read the whole chapter. Now I'm going to get ready to end today's video. My bookmark. There, like I said, I'm gonna get ready to end today's video, and I'm gonna come back on my Facebook Live, and I'm gonna take me some headache medicine, keep taking me some headache medicine, get my head to stop hurting, But again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county of Shelbyville, in the state of Tennessee. I thank all my fans, my support, for your continued encouragement and support. And as always, put God first. And take care of yourself. And I wish each and every one of you the very best.